Good morning, everyone. We're gonna get started. I probably have two microphones on and it's not working real great, but come on in, get some coffee, get some water, get some food in the back. But right now we have a gracious sponsor for our breakout. So I'm gonna let Angela talk about Only One Hospitality.
Thank you, everyone. Good morning. Shauna, Tyler, thank you so much for having us, and we're thrilled to be the sponsors for this breakout session. My name's Angela Burns. I am the Director of Concepts and Development for Only One Hospitality. And before I talk about our group really quick, I'm going to introduce some team members that I have here, because we are nothing without our team. Renee Thurman, I know a lot of you might be familiar with Renee. Yes, please. Renee Thurman joined our group last year and as our Director of Sales and Events, and we are thrilled to have her, and I know that she's a familiar face. And then Itza Padija is our Director of Catering for our group as well. So really quickly, Only One Hospitality is a San Antonio-based hospitality group. We had humble beginnings 12 years ago with our two owners that came and opened Costa Pacifica, a restaurant that is based in a very specific Mexican cuisine from Monterey. You'll find it at 1604, North 1604. And after a little over a decade in this community, lots of opportunities presented itself, and we have partnered with great developers, and had our flagship project 2 years ago in nightlife. We now own and operate 1902 in Sunset Station, St. Paul Square, that beautiful old train station. So not just for nightclub or nightlife, but also for sales and events, corporate functions, galas, all of the above. And then our next project that's coming this year is the Creamery. I don't know if everyone's heard about that. In between the Pearl and St. Mary's Strip over in Tobin Hill, we are the food and beverage group that is taking over all of the spaces there, everything from coffee shops, underground bars, rooftop garden bars, a full restaurant. We'll be putting a barge on the river where there's going to be food and beverage as well. We are really excited to bring those spaces to that area, close for tourists, also for residents of San Antonio, and changing a little bit of the scene because we're going to be late night. Yes, after 10 o'clock, after 12 o'clock even on the weekends. So for tourists that come in, we have coffee that starts at 7 in the morning, and then we'll have coffee, not just coffee, but drinks and food that will go till 2 a.m. on the weekends. So expanding the options for the people that come into the city, and hopefully not just visitors, but people that will potentially be residents as well, and we're really excited about that. So thank you for having us here. Thank you for this day, and we really appreciate it. Oh, I need to introduce Tyler. Now Tyler.
You're good.
You're good. All right. Do I have the clicker? All right. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. How's everybody feeling? Great? Good. We have less than 40 minutes to do this. So those of you that know me know that I tend to ramble a little bit. So I do have notes. So bear with me as I try to do notes and speak to all the good things, but welcome to the Sales and Experience breakout here at our annual meeting. We're very, very excited to have you here. Not to brag, Shauna, but we do have the most attended breakout of the other 4 breakouts. So give yourselves a hand. You all made this happen, so I give you all credit. And if you talk to Andres or Michelle or any of the other breakout people, you could say you were in the most popular one. So thank you. So today, you have to bear with me too. I'm not technically gifted, so hopefully I can get all of these things working. Here we go. So, introduction. Those of you that I don't know, I'm Tyler Orwig. I'm the Vice President of Association and Trade Show Sales for Visit San Antonio. And I will be joined by Shauna Goodman, who is our Director of Destination Experience and Engagements. So what we will be talking about in very fast fashion are our sales strategies. We're going to talk about where we finished fiscal year 23, our strategies for what we started in fiscal year 23 going into 24. as well as our goals. We'll talk about our experience team, the things that they've done, and then at the end, we'll talk about some great ways to get involved with the organization to get interaction with our customers, okay? I'm a pretty easygoing guy. If you have questions, you want to interrupt, please do. We're going to try to allow for questions at the end. Again, we've got 40 minutes to get through because I've got to get you out of this room by 9:45 to head over to the main show. But if there's something that stands out, please go ahead and stop me. If it's too hard of a question, I'm going to leave it to Shauna. All right, clicker go. All right, so here we are. This was fiscal year 23. And I know we're already a month past it, and I know we've been in many meetings with many of you to talk about the accomplishments, but I bet you there's a portion of you in the room that has not seen this. So just to recap this, and you're going to hear this from Mark a little bit later this morning, but from a goal standpoint, we continue to see growth out of the pandemic. So on the left column there, you will see the goals that we set with our organization, with our board, to capture business in fiscal year 23. We've done well. We met the goals and exceeded most of them. We are deployed, our convention and meeting sales teams were deployed by size, we're deployed by geographic market, and we're also deployed by market segment. That factors into a lot of this success. As many of you know, we had some major strategy changes, probably going back 9 months, 10 months at this point in time. And we feel that those strategic changes that we made led to a lot of the successes that we saw in fiscal year 23 and will continue to be successful fiscal year 24 and beyond. From an event standpoint, so the amount of meetings that our team booked, we were at 123% of our goal. It's encouraging to beat our goal, but what we were really encouraged about was that we beat pre-pandemic levels from an event standpoint. We were at 117% compared to where we were 2018 and 2019 from an event standpoint. We're going to talk about room nights in a little bit. Room nights is the one metric that is still lagging pre-pandemic. We're real busy with a lot of events, but these events are smaller in size than what we saw in 2017, 18, and 19. The majority of these bookings, these events that we did book, were within a 48-month period. We saw 563 of the 654 events that we book and supposed to take place before December of 2024. This was a strategic initiative with our organization to make sure that as we came out of the pandemic in 22 and 23 and 24, we were catching up for that lost business. It's a big number compared to pre-pandemic as well. Just to point out, in the year for the year, this is the number that caught me off guard when I first saw it. We booked, as an organization, Visit San Antonio. Obviously, when I say we booked because it's a community, right? Into your hotels, into the community. We booked 393 events, 393 events in the year for the year. So essentially, from the beginning of our fiscal year through the supposed to actualize by the end of calendar 23, 393 events. Pre-pandemic, that number was 247. So we saw a huge influx of short-term, smaller programs. Obviously, to achieve these numbers, we need a lot of leads. So you can see here that we received 3,555 leads in fiscal year 23. It's just a number on the screen for y'all. You can see the goal that we thought we would get to 2,500, and that was going to be a lot. We received 3,555 leads. And I know I speak to many of your hotels, and you're seeing it too, inundated with leads. As a comparison, in 2019, one of our most successful years, we received 1,900 leads. That's a lot more. So a lot more opportunities, but again, as most of you know that Justin's going to keep me on time. Most of you know this is causing a lot of backlog. So we're doing the best that we can to get through this. Room nights, this is about 20% less as overall from where we were pre-pandemic. And this is, again, a function of booking more events that are smaller in size. Corporate citywide leads We saw a huge increase in that. That's because we have a dedicated citywide corporate team now that is building those leads. And from a citywide standpoint, we booked 56 to a target of 51. This was a 41% increase to where we were the year prior. Still not to pre-pandemic on the citywides, but we're seeing a big growth year after year. All right, come on. So I just wanted to recap our strategic initiatives from 2021. Now, these are updated. I'm just going to go through these quickly. We have updated these since 21. Every year we update the numbers. But coming out of COVID, in 2021, we said, what are the things that we can do, not only in sales, marketing, and all of our other departments, to be successful in the short term? Citywides, we felt like this was an area we really needed to focus on to get us back to filling the convention center, causing compression for the city. You can see that right now our goal is to exceed 56 citywides booked into the future. When we say citywide, that's 1,000 plus on peak. Last year we did 51. The year before that we did 43. So we have incrementally increased that every year. Going into fiscal year 24, we're looking to not only hit the 56, but exceed that. The next initiative was short-term business. We wanted to focus within a 48-month period, make sure we captured that business. We did. You saw the numbers from the slide before, 563 events within those 2 years. Going into fiscal 24, we are expanding that focus to 36 months. We wanted to encompass not only 25, but 26 in our short-term focuses. And then, of course, exceeding our pre-pandemic levels. We have a goal of 3,400 this year, which is a little bit less than what we actualized this past year. And we feel that, and again, from industry programs that we've been to, the pent-up demand from 2020, 21, we feel like that's going to level off. And again, the comparison of 3,500 leads compared to 1,900, we think that's going to normalize over time. I'm hoping so we can have more focus on more quality leads. Going on to initiative 4, book 13 corporate citywide events between the years of 2023 and 2026. We have booked 17. So we're not changing this initiative. We have changed our strategy to achieve this. And one of the reasons we've exceeded this number is because, again, we have redeployed and we have dedicated corporate citywide salespeople in this realm. Also, initiative 5, continue our short-term group incentive through TPID. This is live on our website today. So those that have utilized that in the past will be able to use that moving forward. So this is, the next couple of slides talk to what we talked about in the all hotel meeting. So we shifted our strategy. We have an association focus, a corporate focus, and a third-party focus, and a for-profit trade show. I'm going to quickly go through these because, again, I know we spent a long time in April going over these. But to focus on association, which has been the backbone of a lot of the conventions that we've done over the years, we wanted to ensure that our legacy counts were taken care of. We wanted to make sure that they were performing to expectations as they've done over the years, that moving forward into the future, they were still performing what they needed to. We are working to do a deep dive into their accounts. We're making sure we're there for them, and we're ensuring that we're at the shows, their trade shows, to see how things are changing and what their attendance looks like. Looking for total show acknowledgement in that realm. From an association standpoint, we're focusing on larger trade shows. We're looking at trade shows that are 2,500 rooms on peak or greater. Our first goal here was increasing lead volume. Happy to say that we are back to pre-pandemic lead volumes within this realm of associations that are 2,500 on peak or more. We've created a targeted list for our association citywide sellers that they are working off of. And we've hosted 2 great fam trips within this realm. We had the Tasting Texas Day of the Dead, Elton John. A year ago, we did that, as well as we had a fam trip over Fiesta, which we will do again this year. Our goal of capturing 5 new accounts within this realm, we've captured 4. So we need 1 more by the end of fiscal year 24 to meet this goal. We've added a new mid-market salesperson, Brenda Baronis, which I don't know if she's in the audience here, but we added her. She lives in DC. She handles events that are 251 on peak to 999 on peak. We've seen an increase in lead volume, and we've seen an increase in event production in this market with her being focused there in DC. So this was a great addition to the team, as well as continuing our industry participation with PCMA, IAEE, ASAE, all of the industry alphabet soup. We know that being in that realm gets us in front of customers that we may not have been in front of before. In the for-profit trade show strategy, this is really a new realm for us. In the last 2 years, we have Sean Massey, who is dedicated to bringing in the trade shows. We just recently confirmed PitCon, which was a big program for the city. We're very happy to confirm 2 years, 26 and 29, with PitCon. We're working with PowerGen, we're working with Access Intelligence and Clarion, and all of the big show houses' names. So we've seen a lot of success in this realm over the last 2 years. This is great business. Typically short-term bookings, low cost, high revenue, and word of mouth in this realm really goes a long way. From a corporate standpoint, Lance heads up our team for the corporate and third party. Much like association, our first goal here was to increase lead volume within the corporate citywide structure, which we have done. Again, the lead volume at 3,555, we have accomplished that. Again, with our corporate sellers, they have a targeted market, which they are working off of. Our corporate team has done 2 corporate citywide FAMs as well. We just hosted Pink not too long ago, which was a great success. We've seen a lot of leads come from that, as well as developing a strategic convention task force. We've had some great success from that. One of the big takeaways from that was our citywide review with our team, which the next one is coming up on November 28th at 10 a.m. If you don't have an invite for that, let us know. We will get you an invite to that. In addition, we've added Nestor. So Nestor's been on our team for a while. We added Nestor to the corporate citywide sales team, and he's now focusing on Texas and the West Coast, our corporate business, 1,000 rooms on peak. He's had a lot of great success there, booking Transact Card, which was short term, as well as Plexus Worldwide. So great job to you, Nestor, in that shift. We're looking to increase our closer ratio to 50%, where the goal for 2024 is an increase of 50% from last year. We booked 8 citywides last year. Our goal this coming year is 12. So looking for a lot of success there. And then also capturing 3 first-time citywide events within the next 20 months. And Transact Card and Plexus Worldwide are 2 of those. So great job on the corporate front. Intermediaries, this really has to do with relationships. Our goal here was to elevate and expand San Antonio's presence within this segment. Team has done historically a good job in this market. One of the strongest intermediary partnerships that we have is Merritt's. Merritt's, we started a strategic partnership about 2 years ago, and we've seen about a 30 to 40% increase in the lead volume from that one relationship alone. They've actually just did a time and motion study with our airport, which will be coming out soon, which is very beneficial as we talk to customers in regards to airport usage. Not only what the expansion looks like by 2028, but what it looks like today. And we will have a FAM trip targeted towards intermediaries. We did Merritt's. Sorry, these lights are really getting at me. We did a FAM trip with Merritt's over the rodeo this past year, and we're looking to do an event with Streamline events coming up. So just some results from these. How am I doing? 2 minutes, okay. Some results here, we'll send this out. We've booked over the past year 287 corporate events worth 139,000 room nights worth $110 million in economic impact. From an association standpoint, we've booked 351 events worth 480,000 room nights and $397 million worth of economic impact. We've booked 8 for-profit trade shows within the last year. So that's a lot of success in a little bit of time. I'm not going to go in details too much on these numbers. These are numbers that you can find on the extranet. This is the same time to last year report that we produce out of a system called FuturePace. One thing to note, you will see in the short term, from an event standpoint, this is the convention center. You can see in the short term, 23 and 24, there are a lot of events and not as many room nights. That script flips as you look 25 and beyond. We're starting to see a shift, and again, a strategic shift, larger groups into the convention center. Of course, when you have larger groups, less events because they take up more space. 27, 28, 29, 30 are behind pace, and you'll see that in the next slide here, 2 slides. Our booking window has shrunk in the citywide realm from 5 years to 3 years. So we are catching up on 27, 28, and 29, but we really feel it's a factor of our booking cycles. Same time last year report for hotels only. Again, the trend, more events, less room nights. You can see that in 23 and 24. This is really our sweet spot with the hotel only business, are those 2 years. So you can see that trend in those 2 years. Long-term pace, I know this is a little bit of an eye chart. Here you can see we are on pace more or less 23, 24, and 25. We're slightly behind in 24 by 2%. But then as you see, as we go forward into the future, 27 and beyond, those pace deficits in room nights really show up. Again, a function of what we feel is the booking cycles. This is a visual so that you can, oops, too far. This is a visual of convention center business to events over the next several years. You can see that in fiscal year 24, we have 88 events on the books, more so than we've had over the past 4 years, on par with 2019. But you can see in 25, with only 61 events, we're almost to the room nights that we have in 2024. And we've got some time to book in there. But an interesting fact, over the 5 years of 15 through 19, this average citywide peak was 1,188. In 2023, we increased this by 16%, with an average of almost 1,400 on peak. In 24, we increased this by 36% for an average of 1,600 on peak. And by 2025, we'll have increased 106% compared to pre-pandemic, with an average citywide size of 2,451. So these goals that I'm going to show you here, these are preliminary goals. But this is what we are getting tasked with right now. So our goal for events for the team is 670 events, which is a 4% production increase to last year. But again, is well over where we were in pre-pandemic stages. 589, that's our goal for the short-term bookings, on par with the last 2 years, however, significantly more from an event standpoint where we were in 2018 and 19. Our leads, 3,400 we talked about, were a goal of corporate citywides of 12, and then a booked citywide event goal of 56. So that is the sales portion. I'm gonna hand it over to Shauna, and she's going to talk a little bit about experience, and then we'll be back to talk about partnership opportunities.
There you go. Tyler, I'm impressed. You did that within the time frame. Good job. So for those of you who I don't know, my name's Shauna Goodman. I'm the Director of Destination Experience. And so you might say, well, what is Destination Experience? Basically, we handle and get to work with all the amazing conventions and bookings that Tyler and the sales team bring to the city. So we are the fun team, as I like to say, right? We're Destination Experience. We want to bring our meeting planners and their attendees into your hotels, into your venues, into your restaurants. That is my team's job. We have a small team. There's only 8 of us, 4 managers, and then some coordinators and admin, and myself, and of course, Karen Bippert, who I need to introduce, who is our newest Assistant Director of Destination Experience. So you're like, okay, how do you do that? What does your team do? So I want to throw up a couple of, oh, you're right. No, not just me. So this is what we're measured on. So the first number that you're going to see is our goal. So we survey every single convention that comes through San Antonio that is considered a citywide. A citywide is 1,000 on peak and above. So our goal was to get a 3.9. My team knocked it out of the park and got a 4.0. That's incredible, right? Yes, thank you. They're amazing. And then leads for future years. So think of us also as kind of the boomerang effect, right? Sales comes in, they book the business, we then work the business, and then we're the last ones that touch that business before they leave our city. So we really want to make sure that that group comes back. And so we are that boomerang of, hey, we heard you had an amazing time in our city. Aren't you ready to book a future year? So we'll then work and send it back to our sales team and make sure that they book that convention for future years. So our goal was to have 16 of those leads, and we actually fulfilled 23 leads. So this includes groups like Tyler Tech, Ace Hardware, the Advisor Group. We made sure that those leads were handed off to sales so they could close yet another deal. And then lastly, Connect San Antonio. You're going to hear Mark talk a lot about that. That is our intellectual partners. So when the convention meeting planners come to San Antonio and they're like, hey, we really would like to talk to someone from your region to give their perspective to our groups, we want to have that roster of intellectual partners that we can say, hey, you're talking about this type of group, we're working with a medical group, here's who we can connect you with from our region. So again, you'll hear more on that, but it is a great plug for our city and making sure that we're getting you all connected. Okay, next one. Now I'm too excited here. Okay, so group served. So my team of 8 served 588 groups. That's almost 50 groups a month. That's 8 people managing that. We did 58 citywides, and again, a citywide is considered 1,000 on peak or above. We conducted 79 site visits, had 529,000 attendees, which supported 208,000 jobs within the hospitality and tourism industry. So those are all your folks, right? And then had an economic impact of $464 million. So sometimes when you think we don't matter, we matter, right? So how are we managing these groups and how does it work? So like I mentioned, our team manages groups from citywides from 1,000 on peak all the way up to 10,000 peak. Some of them will get managers. So if you are 1,000 on peak, considered a citywide, you will have a dedicated manager. Anything under than that, we work with concierge services. Meaning, we will call them, we will say, what can we get you? And then we provide all of those connections. So as you are all members of Visit San Antonio, we provide your names, we do the leads, we do the service requests. We make sure that anybody under 1,000 on peak still has that connection, and they can also work with our meetings website. Now, 1,000 and above, they get that hand-holding. They get one of our amazing managers that takes them through the city, will take them to your venues, and make sure that they know everything San Antonio has to offer. And mind you, we start working 30 months out. So some key initiatives for our group is to refresh our meeting planner toolkit. We've heard that it's a little bit wonky to use our website. We are working on that. We're going to introduce some new tools that will be coming up in fiscal year 24. Going to continue on that lead generation, rebrand our Connect SA, which again, you'll hear from Mark. I don't want to take his thunder, and then enhance our client experiences. So what does that mean, right? So to give you a couple of examples, this year we started marketing charrettes. So we actually, as a team, will fly out to the headquarters of whatever convention we're working with our director of marketing and say, what are your attendance building challenges? How can we help you build attendance? San Antonio has been very lucky because we bounced back really quickly after COVID, but some organizations still are having a hard time getting their attendance here, so we work with them on that. Other things that we'll do is we expanded our airport experience. So when they come in, and this is groups 2,500 and above on peak, when they come in, they're gonna walk into a terminal in the airport of welcome signs, right? So as soon as they get off the plane, they are welcomed with open arms from San Antonio. They'll recognize their logos, and they'll say, wow, they're so happy that we're here. And then for our drive-in markets who aren't going into the airport, we're going to start working with the hotels to do some marketing packages. We're going to start working with the venues to expand whatever signage they might need. And we're going to have lots of other ideas on how to promote those drive-in markets, which are a lot of our recurring groups, right? And making sure that they feel that their groups are enhanced and loved. And then lastly, social enhancements. So any of our groups that have 2,500 and above, Mark actually comes out to them, and as we all know, like a key to the city is pretty popular. We like to do the heart of the city. So we have a beautiful glass, hand-blown from Garcia Glass, presentation that we give, and it's to the board members, it's to the president, it's to the meeting planners, it's to everyone who's been a part of that convention to thank them for coming to our city. So as you can see, we've been really busy. A couple of groups that I want you all to take a look at, and I'm gonna move over so you can see it. So this is coming up for fiscal year 24, and you all need to have your eyes on these. So San Antonio Breast Cancer Symposium, yes, they've been coming for years and years. They have restructured, and so they have new leadership. So it's gonna be like a new convention here in San Antonio, and they're looking at 8,000 in attendance. Ellucian, I'm sure a lot of you have heard about them, right? They're coming over the eclipse. We know that the hotels are booked, everything's moving at a fast pace, but this is a group that you want to stay focused on. American Urological Association, they're expecting 15,000. So this is another group that you want to make sure, if you haven't been engaged them yet, reach out to myself or Karen, and we can see how we can get you engaged with them. And then Texas High School Coaches. Yes, this is a return group, but they just hit record-breaking numbers in Houston, and we always know we do much better than Houston. So we can probably expect 15 to 16,000 here in San Antonio. And you know how those coaches like to have a good time. So make sure you're prepared when the coaches are coming. All right. And I'm going to pitch it back to Tyler, and we're going to wrap it up.
Thank you.
We're doing all right? It's a lot of pressure up here. He's holding up signs and a lot of facts we just went through. Now we get to talk about some fun stuff. So from a partnership standpoint, obviously what we do, we can't do without all of you. You know, we attend trade shows, we do sales missions, we do prior year promotions, we do site visits, we do FAMs. We need all of you to be successful because obviously as we're showcasing San Antonio, we need you to show off your venues, your hotels, the convention center, the destination, the events, all of the things that make San Antonio special. So up here is a QR code where you can go to our website and it will list the events that we know of that we are planning for the year. And this includes all of the events I just mentioned, trade shows, sales missions, prior year promotions. As we come up on FAM trips, we will also be posting this. The next FAM trip that we're looking at that we know of will be the Fiesta FAM trip that we traditionally do every year. So more information to come on that. That'll be in obviously April as Fiesta comes around. But I am here to talk to you about a very exciting initiative that we are starting. We're going to kick off at PCMA. All right, we're going to hope this clicker works. There we go. Come on. Longer drum roll. There we go. So many of you have heard us talk about a road show over the years. We have some folks on our leadership team that have had experience doing road shows across the country, and we felt this is a great year to do this with San Antonio. So we're doing a San Antonio Margarita takeover. We are going to do a 10-city roadshow across the continental U.S. to showcase San Antonio, to talk about our destinations, to talk about our partners. And we are so excited to kick this off. As I mentioned, in January in San Diego at PCMA Convening Leaders, we will have a pink margarita truck on the trade show floor, and we're going to be talking about the different destinations Michelle Moon, who is spearheading this. She even wants to get concert t-shirts. So if you're involved in this, maybe we can get you a concert t-shirt as well. Here's a map of where we're going. And as these cities are listed, I'll just read them off here. San Diego, Houston, Dallas, Seattle, San Francisco, Denver, Chicago, St. Louis, Washington, D.C., New York City, and Atlanta. So when, Tyler, are we doing this? Oh my gosh, we are doing it from the end of January through the very beginning of March. So within 4 to 5 weeks, we are going to be on the road. It's going to be so much fun. I'm really hoping the kids don't have any sports events that month, but we will figure that out. No, but in all seriousness, that QR code that was on the last slide will list these dates as well. And your venues, your hotels, you will have the opportunity to join. And there's some different pricing options there if you want to do 1 city, 2 cities. If you want to do all cities, you can do that as well. I know some of your companies have a big staff. So if you pay one price and you want one manager to go to Seattle, another manager to go to Dallas, another manager to go to DC, you have that option. But again, this is the first time for us. We're going to be in some markets that we have not collectively been in before. Seattle is one of them. San Francisco, we've had limited exposure there. So we're excited to get into some of these markets to really get out and talk about San Antonio. We've seen a lot of great movement over the last year. I mean, we all know Cvent Connect is coming to us in June. That is huge. We have MPI coming, MPI WEC coming in 2026. RCMA will be with us in January. We have other industry events that are looking at coming to San Antonio. We are booking corporate business that we have not booked before because we've had this success over the years. We have, Shauna mentioned AUA coming in May. That, I don't want to hype it up too much, but we should. It's the Super Bowl of medical association meetings. And we are talking to so many large medical associations that are literally waiting to see how AUA does in May of 2024. So we've got so many great things happening. Events like this where we travel across the country and get our message out are so important. So we encourage you, sign up, be a part of it, come join us, have a margarita on the road. I don't know if they drink margaritas in Seattle, I assume so. I know they throw fish and drink coffee, but other than that, no, just kidding. It is going to, I know you heard that one, yeah. It'll be a great event. So please sign, let me go back to the QR code if you didn't get it before. Oh, there we go. So anybody needs a QR code, again, it is on our website, but that'll take you right there where you can register for these events. And with that, Justin, I think we did it. My God, it's wrong day to wear a vest. The pressure is all good. I appreciate you listening. I appreciate you being here. We do have 5 minutes for any questions, thoughts. Yes, ma'am. So this is a logistical question that we're still debating. So one, we wouldn't get a margarita food truck to do that. We would put the truck on a truck to go. So we are looking at the options. Is that the best way to go? Or is it better to rent like a food truck in market and just wrap it? I think the latter is probably going to work out best. But there will be a margarita truck in each one of these cities. So, great question. Mm-hmm. Correct. Absolutely. And from our tourism and marketing standpoint, we have a lot of dollars put to that event because it is one of the largest in the country. So yeah, great question. It is definitely something high on Visit San Antonio's radar. No, that 670 includes the 589. If you recall the first slide, the 654 that we did, the 5 some odd that we did short term was included in that 654. I think we're in a good place. You know, you talk about the floodgates of leads that are coming in. We are back to, from a staffing standpoint, we have as many sellers now as we did pre-pandemic. Not to brag, but I feel like we have a really great sales staff that has learned to manage the high volume of leads. We all know, and I think we're getting good at qualifying leads, I don't want to say quickly, but efficiently. This past year, especially this past year, we were seeing a lot of what we called shotgun leads. We were seeing planners going, I want a meeting in June, ready, country, go. Who's got it? So it wasn't we were competing against New Orleans or DC or Denver. It was we were competing against the entire country for 30 rooms on peak. And so and that's one of the reasons we feel our lead volume should go down in this next year, is because that pent up demand of, oh my gosh, I have to book a meeting now and I don't know where. At least from our travels and trade shows and the people that we've been talking to, people are now becoming more strategic in where they're trying to place their events. So we're in a good place, especially as, again, the anticipation that this lead volume goes down. If it doubles like it did from 2019 to this past year, no, we're going to have to come up with another solution. But I honestly don't anticipate that to happen. Yes, sir. Great question. So first and foremost, our membership department can provide you with a lot of useful information on benefits of the membership of being Visit San Antonio. Again, that QR code will allow you to see where we're going, what we're doing, and any of those trade shows or sales missions you feel would be beneficial for your establishment, please join us. If you've got questions on, hey, Chicago area, I don't see a lot of business from Chicagoans, is it worthwhile? Call me, call our team, we can have that conversation. But in addition to the convention experience teams on the efforts that we do a lot of tourism events, and we do a lot of marketing co-ops and different initiatives that could feed more into what you're looking for. And be happy to get you in touch with Andres on our marketing team or Michelle from our membership team. Anyone else? Anyone? Those are good questions. Any good jokes? No? My team knows I always need a good joke because mine are pretty bad. No? All right. Well, thank you very much for being here. We appreciate you spending your day with us. Enjoy the rest of it. Grab some coffee, water, some pastries in the back. Thank you.